If I should go, forget me never. Please say that you remember me. I pray the dreams we share together will shine right in your memories. Each time a star falls out of heaven, it leaves the sky a deeper blue. So if we part, forget me never, and don't forget my love for you, and don't forget my love for you. If I should go, forget me never. Please say that you remember me. I pray the dreams we share together will shine right in your memories. Each time a star falls out of heaven, it leaves the sky a deeper blue. So if we part, forget me never, and don't forget my love for you, and don't forget my love for you.
Yeehaw. Heck yeah. Polka's answer to Dean Martin right there. That was none other than Staś Golonka doing the classic Forget Me Never here on the Sunday Morning Polka Show of Northwest Ohio. Happy Polka Sunday morning. Thank you for tuning in. I'm your host, David Jackson, and we are going to be bringing you the finest in polkas, waltzes, and obetics, primarily with a Polish-style feature focus, but we'll be playing some other stuff as well. We know that's why you tune in, is to hear fabulous music, the news from Poland, and of course the Polish word of the day. Today's Polish word of the day is odpowiedź. No, I stressed it improperly. Odpowiedź. Odpowiedź. It is a noun, and here it is in a sentence. Szukam odpowiedzi na dręczące mnie pytanie. We'll talk a little bit about more of what that means later when we bring you the definition of both the word and the sentence. But of course, many, many, many of you already know, and I certainly appreciate your enduring my pronunciation. All right, enough with the chit-chat. Let's hear a polka classic right now from Steve Adamczyk.
I stayed up till the dawn, playing polkas and obereks till everyone had gone, singing some old songs that I haven't sung for years, enjoying some vishnyuka and some beers. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home, I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, it's hard to say goodbye. I had one bag too many just as I was set to leave. I was loaded down with mushrooms, kielbasa, Polish cheese. I couldn't find my ticket as I was walking out the door, till I emptied all my bags out on the floor. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home, I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, it's hard to say goodbye. On board the plane I sip a drink while waiting for the meal, just trying not to let my head know how my stomach feels. There's a baby right behind me making sure that I won't sleep, and the flight's too full to find another seat. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home, I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, it's hard to say goodbye. I fell asleep at last just as the plane was touching down. I aged 10 years while waiting for my bags to come around. I make it home at last and I'm barely unpacked when I'm already making plans to go again. Back across the ocean to my home, away from home, I'm glad to be returning, but sad to have to go. I'd like to find a way to be two places at one time. It's easy going back again, it's hard to say goodbye.
Well, according to what I just read on the old internet machine, July 12th, today, is Eddie Blazonczyk's birthday. So happy heavenly birthday to the wonderful Eddie B with his version of Home Away from Home. Before that, we heard brand new music from the Dynabrass called Who's Gonna Mow Your Grass, a fantastic oberek. And we also heard Steve Adamczyk, a classic there, doing one called Ridin' High. Not quite sure if that's the best idea, but anyway, there you go. Welcome again to the Sunday Morning Polka Show of Northwest Ohio. I'm your host, David Jackson. You can always send us an email at sundaypolka@gmail.com, sundaypolka@gmail.com. We strive to be the most interactive polka show in the land. Here is some news from Radio Poland. Here's the headline: Election silence in Poland. No political campaigning till polls close on Sunday. Campaign silence in Poland before the second round of the presidential election on Sunday, July 12th, in which Poland's incumbent conservative president Andrzej Duda faces centrist challenger Rafał Trzaskowski. In Poland, the president is the head of state, while the prime minister is the head of government. The president is the supreme commander of the armed forces, has the power to veto legislation passed by parliament, which may be overridden by a majority of 3/5, and can dissolve parliament under certain conditions. Andrzej Duda became president in 2015 and is bidding for another 5 years in office. He has presented himself as a champion of traditional patriotic values. He came first in the first round of the presidential contest last month, garnering 43.5% of the vote. Rafał Trzaskowski is a former governor minister who was elected mayor of Warsaw in October 2018. In the first round, he gathered just over 30%. He is seen as more progressive than his rival and has positioned himself a defender of local decision-making rather than what he says is the government's instinct to centralize power. No candidate out of the 11 running won an outright majority in a first round of voting on June 28th. Polish election rules specify that if no presidential contender wins more than 50% of the vote in a first-round contest, a second round is held 2 weeks later. The presidential vote was originally scheduled for May 10th, but failed to go ahead amid the COVID-19 pandemic. The ban on campaigning in Poland continues until polls close at 9 p.m. on Sunday. I don't have any polka songs about elections or about presidents or about voting, but there is a fabulous polka band, or was a fabulous polka band from Toledo called Choice. Randy Krajewski and the boys. And get it? Choice. See, that's an election-related thing because that's what Polish people are making today. So we're going to play one from Choice called Here They Come.
Warszawie chłopi jadą, jaki dobre kompanisko. Przystawili kacznie wysoko. Dla mnie podbiją mówiłem, nikomu nic nie mówiłem. Teraz w kabaretach pijam, osaj boga się rozmijam. Przeszła środo, wielka przygoda się stała. Suka nogie wywyżniała, a która się to złamała. Od Warszawy chłopi jadą, jaki dobre kompanisko. Przystawili kacznie wysoko, garnie pokryją piłem, nikomu nic nie mówiłem. Teraz w kabaretach pijam, postać Boga się rozbija. Przeszła środo, wielka przygoda się stała. Suka nogie wywyżniała, a która się to złamała.
fabulous Bruno Krieger Orchestra, doing one called the Bell Bottoms Polka. How about that? Some scratchy classics for you there. Before that, we heard Bob Zielinski Orchestra doing Holiday in Poland, a classic for all of the Bob Z fans out there, and we know you are many. And we started that set with a band called Choice, doing Here They Come. You are tuned to the Sunday Morning Polka Show with your host, David Jackson, who's pleased as pierogi to be doing our best to bring you music that will make you happy and give you pleasure. It's the radio show that gives you pleasure. How about the old Polish word of the day? Let's take a look at the Polish word of the day. Odpowiedź. Odpowiedź. It is a noun. And here it is in a sentence. Szukam odpowiedzi na dręczące mnie pytania. At the end of this hour, the end of this broadcast, we will revisit that word and give you the definition. And at this point, I'd just like to thank you all for enduring my pronunciation. I've been trying to learn this difficult language for years and years and years, and they say that it helps to speak it out loud. And so I take the opportunity once a week here to do that with you all as listeners. All right, back into the music. We just heard some fabulous Bruno Krieger, and we know that the group called Heroes are big fans of Mr. Krieger's music, to such an extent that they have a song called Postcard to Krieger. And this is what it sounds like.
I napisał karteczkę, wiecam na wesele. Muzykę Krieger przyjdzie z jedną orkiestrą, Polki i oberki. Zagrają Krieger przyjdzie jedną orkiestrą, Polki i oberki. Zagrają! Zagrajcie, zagrajcie, chłopcy! Ludzie se tańcują, rzeką naokoło wszyscy tańcują. Budki smaczne, kiełbasę Krieger krzyczy, smarujcie wojsy. Budki smaczne, kiełbasę Krieger krzyczy, smarujcie wojsy. Zagrajcie, zagrajcie, chłopcy! Wesele, wesele, do rana orkiestra przybędzie. Odgrania wódki, piwo smaczne, kiełbasę Krieger krzyczy, smarujcie wojsy. Wódki, piwo smaczne, kiełbasę Krieger krzyczy, smarujcie wojsy. Nasze muzykanci lepiej grają, jakby pili wódki, wódny, piwo na zdrowie. A na moda z modem ochodzi, niech wam wszystko dobrze powodzi. Byście długo jeszcze żyli, po Krieger krzyczy, smarujcie wojsy. Byście długo jeszcze żyli, po Krieger krzyczy, smarujcie wojsy.
Let's get those hands clapping together. Here we go, a little We Are Family. We are family, Polka family. We're the best of friends, getting together now and then. We are family, Polka family. This is what a family's supposed to be.
music. East Coast to West Coast and places in between. I'd love for this music binds us together. And all of us are part of one big Polka family. Everybody, we are family. Polka family. We're the best of friends. We need together now and then. We are family. Polka family. This is what family's supposed to be. Everybody now, go! Supporting Polka music, East Coast to West Coast and places in between. Our love for this music binds us together, and all of us are part of one big Polka family. Everybody now, we are family, Polka family. We're the best of friends, we need together now and then. We are family, Polka family. This is what family's supposed to be. Everybody now, we are family, Polka family. We're the best of friends, we need together now and then. We are family, Polka family. This is what family's supposed to be. Everybody out.
Schoolboy, jadę biegnie prosím. Zavolej mi lásku mou, jenomže víš, co srdci nosí. Andělíčku můj, to až špatně nedá. Pověz, proč je láska má, tak stálená, a kde mě hledá.
go. I don't think Texas Czech music gets any better than that one. Live music from the Czechaholics. Quintessential Texas Czech style angel polka right there. I send that one out to the love of my life, my wife, Lori. Before that, we heard Polka Family doing We Are Family, doing it live at the Summer Music Fest in Frankenmuth, Michigan, back when it was still under a tent. And we started off that set with the fabulous Heroes Orchestra doing a postcard to Krieger. Boy, howdy, they blow the walls off of that. Not that you're necessarily interested in this, but one of the particular challenges of doing a polka pseudo-radio broadcast like we're trying to pull off here at the old home studio is how the volume is different on each one of these recordings. And there's so many different ways to try to control that volume that goes out and keep it a nice, even volume for you, and to keep the microphone sounding nice and even too. It's a struggle. First world problems, as we say. Hey, how about that Polish word of the day one more time, shall we? Yes, we shall. Odpowiedź. Odpowiedź. Here it is in a sentence. Szukam odpowiedzi na dręczące mnie pytanie. We'll talk a little bit more about that later, but now we're going to hear from a brand new recording from Mike Costa and The Beat, a recording called The Answer, and this is one called It Won't Be Over You.
I may lie awake in the dead of night, but it won't be over you. I may press this poison to my lips, count myself in 90 proof, wash up on the rocks of an empty glass, but it won't be over you. I may walk the floor, I may climb the wall, honey, tears may fall like rain. In the sea of love, I will die of thirst before I call your name. Yes, someday this old heart of mine might break in two, but it won't be over you. I may walk the floor, I may climb the walls, honey, tears may fall like rain. In the sea of love, I will die of thirst before I call your name. Yes, someday this old heart of mine might break in two, but it won't be over you. When my bones grow weary of this world, and my days are numbered few, yes, I'll have regrets when I hang my head, but it won't be over you. Yes, someday this old heart of mine might break in two, but it won't be over you. No, it won't be over. No, it won't be over you.
There are stars in the northern sky, northward as you go. There is moonlight and snow on the trees where the Great Lakes water flows. Now I have loved you like a baby, like some lonesome child, and I have loved you in a tame way, and I have loved you wide. Sometimes there's a part of me has to turn from here and go, running like a child from these cool stars where the Great Lakes water flows. There are stars in the northern sky, and if ever you decide you should go, there is a taste of time, sweet as honey, where the Great Lakes water flows.
Jadę po Ameryce, jadę na wszystkie tańce. Jadę po Ameryce, jadę na wszystkie tańce. Kochamy muzykę i piosenki polskie, są my białe orły. Kochamy muzykę i piosenki polskie, są my białe orły. I cieszę, ja się cieszę, i cieszę, ja się będę. I cieszę, ja się cieszę, i cieszę, ja się będę. Bo wielki i mały, czy stary, czy młody,
Wszystkie są białe orły.
bo wielki i mały, czy stary, czy młody,
Wszystkie są białe orły.
Ej ludzie, moje ludzie, po polsku mi śpiewajcie. Ej ludzie, moje ludzie, po polsku mi śpiewajcie. Żeby pamiętały i niezapomniałe,
wysokie białe orły,
żeby pamiętały i nie zapomniały.
wysokie białe orły.
Some of you may wonder exactly what goes into the selection process for songs on a polka show like this one. Is it random? Well, I suppose sometimes it is, but there's always a connection. So we played a song from a recording called The Answer by Mike Costa and the Beat, for reasons which will become obvious later. And it was a modernistic tune called It Won't Be Over You, which then inspired us to play another modernistic tune from the New Brass Express, one called Where the Great Lakes Water Flows. Send that out to my brother, who's a big fan of the Eagles song on which that one is based. And then that inspired us to play the White Eagle Polka by Marion Lush, which is what you just heard there. So you see, it's all connected. And now, how about something for people who love to hear a yodel? This one is a really, really good yodel. I hope you like it.
Różyczka mam stracha, czemu się nie żenić, świat na mnie nie kocha. Czemu się nie żenić, bo żonki zdradzają. Czemu się nie żenić, bo wojska wzywają. się nie żenić, bo kocham Jożynki. Czemu się nie żenić, bo nie ma panienki? Czemu się nie żenić, aż może już wrócę? Czemu się nie żenić, bo nie ma przywódcę?
Jedu takhle tábořit, Škodou 100 na Oravu, spěchám, proto riskuji, projíždím přes Moravu, řádí tam to strašidlo, vystupuje z bážin, žere hlavně pražáky, jmenuje se Jožin. Jožin z bážin, močálem se blíží, Jožin z bážin, k vesnici se blíží, Jožin z bážin, už si zuby brousí, Jožin z bážin, kouše za jerdousí, na Jožina z bážin, koho by to napadlo, platí jen a pouze práškovací letadlo. Projížděl jsem dědinou, cestou na Vizovice, přivítal mě předseda, řek mi u Slívovice, živého či mrtvého, Jožina kdo přivede, tomu já dám za ženu, dceru a půl jezede. Jožin z bážin, močálem se blíží, Jožin z bážin, k vesnici se blíží, Jožin z bážin, už si zuby brousí, Jožin z bážin, kouše za jerdousí, na Jožina z bážin, koho by to napadlo, platí jen a pouze práškovací letadlo. Říkám, dej mi předsedo, létadlo a prášek, Jožina ti přivedu, nevidím v tom háček, předseda mi vyhověl, ráno jsem se vznesl, na Jožina z letadla, prášek pěkně klesl, Jožin z bážin, už je celý bílý, Jožin z bážin, z močálu ven bílý, Jožin z bážin, dostal se na kámen, Jožin z bážin, tady je s ním ámen, Jožina jsem dohnal, už ho držím johoho, dobré každé love, prodám já ho do zoo.
Zba Jean for you here on the Sunday Morning Polka Show. Before that, we heard Marv Masterman doing the Dominique Polka, and we heard the Happy Bachelor from the Ray Barno Band, and then we started off that set with a fabulous yodel. It might have been a little bit quiet from Carrie Christensen. Let's finally do one last visit of the Polish word of the day, odpowiedź. Odpowiedź. It means answer. And here it is in a sentence. Szukam odpowiedzi na dręczące mnie pytanie. I am searching for an answer to the tormenting question. The old folks over at Transparent are getting a little gloomy these days with their Polish words of the day and their sentences. Or, it just is what it is. So anyhow, thank you very much for tuning in to the Sunday Morning Polka Show here on, can't even say that it's really on a radio station because we're just where we are. We are out there on the Mixcloud, and we sure appreciate your tuning in. It means a lot to us. So we are going to go out with a fabulous song from a brand new recording from John Góra and all of the Górale. This one is called Hey Hey Góralu. If the good Lord's willing and the creeks don't rise, we will be back next week. Until then, do zobaczenia.
Hej, hej, góralu, czy ci nie żal, czy ci nie żal? Hej, hej, góralu, wracaj do fal. Hej, hej, góralu, czy ci nie żal, czy ci nie żal? Hej, hej, góralu, wracaj do fal. Posadzili pasę na brzegu Dunajca, jeden zamach kosy, ucięli mu włosy. Posadzili pasę na kamieni kupę, obchodzili koło, całowali w czoło. Hej, hej, góralu, czy ci nie żal, czy ci nie żal? Hej, hej, góralu, wracaj do chat. Hej, hej, góralu, czy ci nie żal, czy ci nie żal? Hej, hej, góralu, wracaj do chat. Hej, hej, góralu, czy ci nie żal, czy ci nie żal? Hej, hej, góralu, wracaj do fal. Hej, hej, góralu, czy ci nie żal, czy ci nie żal? Hej, hej, góralu, wracaj do fal. Coż to za gospodarz, co nie ma chałupy? Co to za dziewczyna,